Howdy, I'm Mitchell Whittington from the Visit Jefferson YouTube channel. Today, I'd like to share one of the hidden gems of Jefferson, Texas with you, the Port Jefferson History and Nature Center. I call it hidden because the pathways take you along Big Cypress Bayou in an urban wildscape habitat that's actually a 35-acre complex. The walking trail is just over a mile long and consists of gravel paths and boardwalks through this beautiful natural setting. It's a project sponsored by the City of Jefferson, the Collins Academy, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. It's a wonderful place for a walk. In fact, here's a map of it courtesy of the Collins Academy. You can enter it on the western side of the levee at the back of the parking lot behind the Marion County Courthouse, or on the eastern side across from the Jefferson Visitor Center. For our excursion today, let's start at the eastern entrance, and you'll see that you're greeted right off the bat by none other than the large, hairy fella himself, Bigfoot. Yeah, this is the perfect place to take a selfie, or maybe even a shot for your Christmas card this year. Across the path, you'll see an artist's metal sculpture of a stagecoach and horses. You see, the Port Jefferson History and Nature Center has both traditional and modern art spread all along its walkways. Just as the path turns west, you'll see one of Jefferson's windows into history. The idea is to recreate a scene from back in the 1800s and etch it into the glass. The glass is then mounted so that you can look through it and see the old scene transposed on the modern landscape. This one shows the old wharfs where the steamboats docked. You'll then be heading down a path that parallels the Big Cypress Bayou, and officially this is called the Wharf Street Trail. But informally, we call it Bigfoot Alley. And if you keep your eyes open, maybe you'll see the big fella lurking in the trees and the brush. After all, Jefferson is the Bigfoot capital of Texas, and there's an entire video dedicated to that topic on the Visit Jefferson YouTube channel. Wait, was that him just behind that tree? Okay, maybe not, but I'll keep an eye out just in case. Walking a little farther, you'll see a bee habitat. Since the Port Jefferson History and Nature Center routinely does instructional outings for school kids, this is a place to learn all about bees while you watch them work behind a plastic window. Bees are incredibly important because they are slowly heading for extinction. As of this video, the bee population is decreasing by 10% every decade. This is a real problem because bees are responsible for pollinating 75% of the world's flowering plants and 35% of the world's crops. That means bees contribute to 1 out of every 3 bites of food that you take. As you progress, you'll have a great view of the Big Cypress Bayou as you walk along the path. It's a great place for spotting wildlife, but also just take a moment and imagine. Back in the 1800s, the river was much higher, and steamboats were coming up here from as far away as New Orleans. The trail then winds around toward the bridges, and you'll pass a big, round concrete structure that dates back to the 1905 water facilities here in town. It's no longer used, of course, but today it stands as a relic from a bygone time. Heading onward, you'll pass under 2 railroad trestles, a modern one and an old abandoned Howe Truss railroad trestle. You'll then find yourself in the turning basin. The river was much, much higher in the old days, like I said, and this huge circular basin was where the steamboats turned around to head back downriver. You'll see several works of art at the turning basin, so do take some time to look around. Another Windows into History is displayed here as well. The last remaining Howe Truss railroad trestle in the state of Texas is located here over the bayou. It was granted a historical marker by the Texas State Historical Commission, in fact. The trestle currently is not safe to walk out on, and therefore access is blocked. But it's really cool to look at, even though it would be very dangerous to be on. Every now and then, though, the idea resurfaces about repairing the trestle so that it can be open for pedestrian traffic. Maybe we'll actually see that one of these days. The turning basin is a beautiful park with several sculptures and many native plants and flowers, including milkweed, which is crucial to the monarch butterfly population. Monarch butterflies have officially been listed as an endangered species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. And right now, they're on the very brink of extinction. Their numbers are down 90% of what they were in 1992, and the milkweed plant population, which is crucial to the development of the monarch, is also down 90%. The Port Jefferson History and Nature Center is doing its part to help the monarch butterfly population, though, by providing milkweed, and that's the only source of food for the monarch caterpillar. Continuing on under the Polk Street Bridge, you'll pick up the boardwalk that will wind you through the preserved natural habitat. Keep your eyes open for deer, squirrels, foxes, many types of birds, and down by the bayou, amphibious wildlife, maybe even an alligator. Okay, full disclosure time, I've never actually seen a gator on the Nature Center walkways or trails, but I did see one a number of times in a pond just a short distance away. I also have a friend that used to run a boat ride down the Big Cypress Bayou, and he's occasionally seen them there on the river. There's absolutely nothing to worry about on the boardwalk, though. You're elevated, and the sides are enclosed with wire. Not even Bigfoot could get to you here. Okay, maybe an 8-foot-tall hairy creature could leap onto the boardwalk, but trust me, in all these years, I've never seen him anywhere near the Nature Center and its walkways. I promise. Now, mosquitoes are a different thing. In season, you may want to put on some bug spray. The bayou's just a stone's throw away from most of the trails. Personally, mosquitoes don't ever bother me. I have no idea why. I just seem to be immune, or maybe I'm just not very tasty. My wife is a completely different story, however. You could put her in a hazmat suit inside a sealed room and then just let in only one small mosquito, and somehow it would find a way to bite her. Anyway, the boardwalk continues to wind through the forest, and it's a very relaxing walk. As you continue on, there are several pieces of modern art. This one is called The Forest Echoes with Laughter by Sherry Owens and Art Shearer. Its description says that it is a suspended construction incorporating miles of wire and thousands of glass bits traveling through the woods and visually connecting two locations on the boardwalk. The sunlight plays on the surface of the glass as it shimmers through the trees. The nature walk continues through the woods, and you'll enjoy the quiet, peaceful experience as you stroll along the boardwalk. Moving on, after a turn or two, you'll see a picturesque old cabin. It was there long before the Nature Center was even first conceived. When you walk by, if anybody's sitting on the front porch, be sure to wave. That's what we do in Jefferson, Texas. A little further down the boardwalk, and you're heading right for the Big Cypress Bayou. It's the closest view of the bayou that you'll get, in fact. As always, keep your eyes peeled and your camera ready for wildlife. When you reach the westernmost end of the boardwalk, you'll come to a dead end, and right away you'll see the fence there is covered with locks. Love locks, to be exact. Now, I have no idea whether this is even sanctioned or approved by the Port Jefferson History and Nature Center, but it's something that goes on around the world. Love locks are found in various different countries, especially on bridges. Just to name a few, the Southgate Footbridge in Melbourne, Australia, the Rialto Bridge in Venice, the Hoppenny Bridge in Dublin, Ireland, the Forth Road Bridge in Edinburgh, Scotland, and also at some fancy bridge that I can't even pronounce the name of in Paris, France. The names or initials of the couple are written or engraved on the lock, sometimes with a date that's significant to them. It is secured and then the key disposed of so that the lock cannot be opened. This represents the unbreakable love of the two people who placed the lock there. I certainly hope that the folks that left these locks here threw their key away back in their room and not in the wildlife habitat. The boardwalk continues to wind through the woods past small ponds that are great places to look for wildlife, take pictures, or just enjoy the peace and solitude of being out in nature. The last stretch of the boardwalk is a straight shot northward toward the old levee and Jefferson's historic downtown. This is such a peaceful, relaxing place. The boardwalk finally ends with a gravel trail up on the levee, which was built years and years ago to protect Jefferson from flooding of the Big Cypress Bayou. The Port Jefferson History and Nature Center is a wonderful place to visit. Whether you're birding, walking for exercise, out on a photo excursion, or simply taking a relaxing stroll. It's wonderful, and please help us keep it that way. When you visit, don't leave anything behind but footprints, and take nothing away with you but photographs and memories. Be sure to check out this wonderful place next time you're visiting Jefferson. Thanks for watching. and I hope that you enjoy all the other videos on the Visit Jefferson YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this one, we'd really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up like button below. It doesn't cost a thing, and it does really help the channel. Also, you can find out when a new video is being posted by hitting subscribe, and we have some great ones in store. Thanks again. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you around Jefferson.